Real brief. So, I lead a team at work, and we are implementing cybersecurity trainings, and the trainings are not very inclusive. And so, I had to have a meeting with the vendor yesterday to explain to them, like, hey, some of the content you guys are sending through is not well representative of women. It's not well representative of other, oppressed groups. So during the call yesterday, as I'm explaining all of this to the rep, the man says, well, we have these females on our team and they do this, that, and I had to stop him in the middle of the meeting. Like, look, this is a perfect example. Like, why wouldn't you just call women women? Like, you wouldn't call a man a male. And, like we went through the whole thing, right? And so when we got off the call, so I had representatives from like members on my team, members from our HR department, some other people. And they all were like, after the fact, like, oh my God, Lord, that was amazing that you called that out. Like, we all cringed when he said it, but like for you to be so forceful about it, we really, oh damn, I just said my real name. Anyway.
I missed it. I'm about to play the live back, but go ahead. If y'all on YouTube, rewind it and type it in the comments. Go ahead.
Anyway, but yeah, so they were giving me compliments after the meeting. But
So
yeah, absolutely.
It felt good to say you was the better man, right?
No, it felt good to be honestly, it felt good to be an ally in that moment and to understand like the context of why people were appreciative. Not so much being the better man, but more so just, being recognized as just another valuable member of the team.
Honestly, why I feel like you in an interview and you trying to that story sounds a little fabricated. I don't know.
No. Well, I am in work mode, so my brain is.
The way you introduced it, I'm like, damn, we about to do a sprint. The way you said that shit, what the
hell? You are funny.
But that is interesting. If you say you did it, then fine, that's fine. I ain't gonna validate you though.
No, I don't need the validation. I just wanted to share with you that it may not always seem like it, but like you guys are making a material difference in the world.
All right. If we hear you dating in the next few months, we know what the fuck happened. But thanks for sharing your story, Leon. What you think about this talk, though?
I for one, I think the picture is hilarious, but two, I do agree. Like the vast majority, because as you were explaining, it is a competition, and men are trying to outdo other men. So yeah, the prize, the end result might be you get a woman, but really it is for like the validation of other men, because you're competing and you want to be recognized, and like we do our peacocking and all the other stuff to like I'm the alpha, I'm this, I'm that, to get that one up on the other guy. So yeah, absolutely.
Hold on, real quick. You don't want to be the better man?
Hi.
All right, go find, man. We gotta find the white people. They got the money. We broke over here. Leon got money though. But I want you to answer my question. I want you to be honest. You don't want to be the better man?
I still struggle with that. So the short answer is yes. But like I have to start examining like the why behind it. Like what's my you know what I mean? Like why am I trying to compete? Like what is ultimately the thing that I'm going to get out of it? And I still haven't figured that out.
Well, shit. Let's break it down. And why do you? Okay, not the why, but what's your definition of the better man? Like in your mind, what does the better man look like?
I think it probably varies from man to man, but for me, it's being a good father, being a good family member, like good son, good cousin, all that stuff.
So in your mind, you be feeling good, like
all that stuff.
In your mind, you be feeling good, like I'm better than these other niggas. Like I'm out here raising my children. They ain't doing it like I'm doing it. Do you be able?
Oh, for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, for sure.
And so, and what you doing about it? So when you recognize it, like, what do you do about it?
When I recognize that I'm better or that I'm deficient.
Whatever you want to call it, when you recognize it, what do you do about it?
If I feel like I'm doing a better job than others, then like it is a moment of validation that I'm like doing the right thing. I could do better in that regard. Like I could be more attentive to my kids' needs, or I could do better in that regard. Like I could be more attentive to, you know, my kids' needs, or I could be more available to certain family members that I know, you know, like, you know, need my um, input on certain things, or just being present. Sometimes, like they, you know, like I have a very wide, diverse skill set, right? So like I'm very knowledgeable, but also I'm handy. So like I have my like we're getting older, right? So I have also I'm handy. So like I have my like we're getting older, right? So I have cousins that are, you know, 8, 9, 10 years older than me, and sometimes like they'll need help with around the house or whatever, like putting up something, or putting something together. So just making the time to be like more available, because when I was younger, especially like I had a cousin that would let me, I was like 13, 14. He literally would let me come pick up his car and be gone for 3, 4 hours driving by myself, no license, didn't have any business being behind the wheel. So, you know, just, you know, returning the love and gratitude that I received,
Hold
you know, when
on,
I
hold on. Where you go at when you was driving?
to
Because I
see
know
girls.
you wanted you. Dawkins had a question for you. She said, how do men use women to compete?
How do men use women to compete?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that that's very complex. On the surface, I would say, you know, most men use their women as a status symbol, like, yeah, you know, my woman looks better than your woman type stuff. So, but it goes deeper than that. It could be like, to use the appropriate language, the labor that we extract from women. You know, like my woman meal preps for me. My woman does this. My woman does that, and like you absolutely will hear those things in men's conversations when it's just men around. Like we brag about that stuff.
No, we had when y'all talk to each other. You been here for the circle jerk. No, for real. Like, and I'm pretty sure because we hear it all the time. Because niggas don't know how to shut their mouth on the internet. That's for sure. I was in one conversation a while ago, and I thought that shit was hilarious. The guy said he had a wife and a girlfriend, and the other dude counted saying he had 4 girlfriends. And I thought that shit was crazy. Like it was a competition. Like I got all these women, so it's like what it showed me is that men want access to women just so they can get the accolades for it. Because another thing that men do, and you hear it all the time, oh, I'm married. I got me a woman. I've been with her such year. Like, men don't feel like they can show up on their own. So it's like, it's not, I'm with this woman. We got this strong connection. I want to tell y'all how I care about her so much. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm goated. I got somebody. Validate me. It's like, it's weird. It's weird because growing up, we heard that women are the ones that like my man, but men love to say shit. My woman, my woman. Y'all love that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think it all depends on too, like where you are in like the maturation process. Because when I was immature, I absolutely was one of those guys that, you know, I got the roster, this, that, and the third. And then, you know, you mature and you grow out of that stuff. But absolutely, you're right.
I don't know. You say you grew out of it. I don't know, but it's just interesting to see how much men need each other too. It's like the conversation around because I've learned that men like to project, right? So when men do this whole conversation about women needing men, you think it's because they need women, but it's no. Men need other men. Like men don't know how to act without other men around. They don't know who they are around without other men. They don't know where they fall on a hierarchy without other men. They're obsessed with being. And they in their future they think they're gonna be somewhere else. But it's like
Yeah,
men need other men to know where they stand. Sure, they think they're gonna be somewhere else. But it's like
yeah,
men need other men to know where they stand.
yeah, yeah. That it's the
Even though you say you
validation of who
no,
you think you are, right?
yeah, because even when you say you mature, I'm pretty sure you still compare yourself to other men.
Oh, for sure. Like you need that for like for the litmus test, right? You need that measuring stick to be able to say I'm better than 85, 90% of these dudes, right? So that puts me in the, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you absolutely need that. Because
No,
then
that's what I'm saying.
you
That's
don't
what
have
happened at
it.
work. That's what happened at work. You was like, I'm better than this man. You was like, listen, ladies, I know what this is like.
I may not have consciously thought of it that way, but subconsciously, and now that you called it out, absolutely, yes.
That's why I said you felt like you was the better man.
Yeah, well, now that you called it out, yeah, yeah.
Hold up, Dark Horse probably want to say something to you. What's up, Dark Horse?
I got 8 more minutes before my next meeting, but
Rushing
Not
me, that's crazy.
not 8.
That's so crazy. You know what people mean when they get up, when you get on specific times like that, you bullshit. But go ahead, Dark
no,
Horse.
it's 9:52.
No,
I
we
got
can
O'clock.
read. We
10.
looking at the clock. We got it.
I just wanted to say
he put a target on his back. So I want a follow up story on what starts to happen at work because there's going to be a reaction. Please believe me. These men don't take that being challenged. That they don't take that very well. So I want to see what the fallout's going to be. What do you think the group of men who are hella misogynistic are going to do? Because trust me, whether it's overt or covert, there's going to be repercussions for your actions, sir. So just be prepared.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially, I think they'll be more guarded and less likely to give like open opinions. But I don't care about that. Like, most of them are subordinate to me. So, but it does undermine trust on the team sometimes when you're trying to get stuff done, and like if people aren't open and honest with you about what they're thinking and feeling, like they feel like they have to be guarded. So, but
I
it
think
is
even
it
when
is
you
what it
said
is.
when you said that you're subordinates, though, that mean that like that's what I'm saying. Like it's a ranking order. So you're like, oh, I'm higher than them, so I can do that. You don't need that validation. But if it was the opposite way and you had a bunch of superiors at work, you probably wouldn't stand up that way, which is the problem we have in society.
You know what? I'm not even gonna hold you. You're. I wouldn't be as forceful about it, and I would definitely pick my timing. Fortunately for me, like my boss, he's a good guy, but he probably has. No, not probably. I know he has. Probably, I keep wanting to use the word probably. I know he also has misogynistic tendencies. Not quite as bad as and he's a white guy, so but not quite as bad as some of the others. But with him, we can have those types of conversations as long as I present it in a way that isn't threatening. He'll listen and then I can also give him like anecdotal feedback or like stories about like what the experience was, and he's really good about picking up on that stuff and kind of like, oh, okay, maybe I need to make some adjustments. So he's really good in that way. But you're right. I wouldn't have been as
Now, and
forceful.
let's say he wasn't. Let's say you wasn't getting that vibe from him, and it was more like he gave more pushback. Do you think that would change your behavior at all?
Yeah, I would be more cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, I've been really fortunate in my career. I've had a lot of amazing bosses, like a ton of them. I've only had out of the bosses like a ton of them. I've only had out of really fortunate. But yeah, I would definitely move more cautiously if that were the case.
Okay. You got it. Duckles, you want to say something?
I wonder. This is no, because it's taking a huge left. We'll talk about it on the back end because now I got questions. I got a lot of questions about the intersectionality of misogyny versus race and why some people may lean more heavily into the misogyny because they don't have that systemic power that others have. They're a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit more
why.
open. A little bit more open. Oh, go ahead, Mama.
No. You got it. That's why black men are hyper masculine.
Yeah, because they're looking for it. So it may be easier for a YT boss to be like, oh, sure, you let the ladies have some power. It's not going to touch his power. Versus black men are fighting for any power. So that means I got to take the women out too. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but that could also go into what Leon is saying. Is like if he feel like he in a comfortable position at work, right, and his place in the hierarchy isn't in jeopardy by saying certain things, then yeah, men would like he would feel more comfortable about it. But not in the sense of like he doing the right thing, but it's like it's more autonomy.
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have. That's when I was making a comment about the older men. Essentially, it's like if men who have status are like chauvinistic, then the men underneath of them are going to follow along because their goal is to like get in their position. So that's why they replicate what they see. And the only way men can correct their behavior is if they need groupthink. It's not like for women to have this personal journey of working of healing, seeing who you are as a person and building community. For men, it's like on a hierarchy and building community. For men, it's like on a hierarchy, the men you submit to essentially who fall higher than you. What are they doing? Because you're going to replicate that. Because it's all performance at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think the short journey that I've been on because I really what has it been since April of last year? Really, what has it been since April of last year that I've been on TikTok, and I didn't really start to understand until probably this time last year. But anyway, it is performative.
You working on that 8? You been trying to get that 8 down?
A little bit. But it is performative in the beginning because it is performative in the beginning because like you become more self-aware of like what is air quotes socially acceptable and unacceptable. But then over time you start to see the benefits of it, and then you start to be like, huh, like this is like people are responding to me differently. This is a positive. Like let me start to really examine like how I really feel about this, and like you vacillate between one side versus the other, but eventually you land on like okay, one side versus the other, but eventually you land on like okay, this is a net positive for me to be more aware, be more sensitive, be more inclusive, be all the things that make you a better person than you were the day before. Be more sensitive, be more inclusive, be all the things that make you a better person than you were the day before. And then over time it becomes less performative and more like, okay, this is my new emergent identity. Like this is like I'm evolving. I don't want to say stagnant in their growth, in their evolution. But a lot of people don't know how to identify the areas that they're stagnant in, and more importantly, they don't know how to take the next step into trying to embrace that growth. And it's painful. Like it's, you know, I've been through some stuff on this app that like it's been some uncomfortable times, and you know, but you got to just keep pushing through to get to the other side of it. So
now, what does that mean?
All that to say, you all have help.
So when you, because I know you probably ain't got that much time left. So when you say you working towards that, like, what is the ultimate goal for you? What do you mean by like what's the incentive for you to consider like, all right, I need to work on myself? The incentive for you to consider like, all right, I need to work on myself?
For me, it's very selfish. I have daughters, and I don't want to perpetuate or participate in anything that ultimately is going to harm them. Especially like one of my daughters is like she's like perpetuate or participate in anything that ultimately is going to harm them. Especially like one of my daughters is like she's like super sensitive and like she suffers from secondhand embarrassment and anxiety and like all these different things. And I know that she's not like, and I have one daughter that's the complete opposite. But like I know she's not gonna be able to navigate the world in a way that she can push through barriers. And so if I can in any small meaningful way start to help dismantle some of that or knock those down or at least weaken the systems in some way, then I will feel good about like my part of like doing a good job as a parent, right? Like it's all self-motivated, it's all selfish, it's all about making sure that I'm not harming like my kids intentionally, right? Because I know I'm still going to do things that unintentionally might cause issues.
Unintentionally, intentionally, whatever. But I do appreciate you saying like it's selfish because like I think that's the uncomfortable truth that a lot of. That's why I'm asking about the incentive. A lot of times it's like, oh, I just want the world to be a better paid place and all that stuff. Like no, it be for our own selfish reasons that we be wanting to do better. And it's different for men because the level of entitlement and entitling that men get, like men don't live in a world where they are uncomfortable enough to have to do that in the way that women do. So it's like when it comes to like deconstructing, women are way more likely to do it because like it can destroy you mentally, physically, whatever.
And to be honest, and I really do gotta go. I think if I had at least one son, I don't even know that I would be as open to it as I am, right? But because I have all daughters, like I don't have any obligation to think about the world in the way of like how a young boy or a young man might navigate it. I only have to be concerned about my daughter's age. So I don't even know if I had a son that I would be this open. So I mean, you end up in a situation you need to be in to get the lesson you need to learn. But it's good talking to y'all. I'll see y'all later on tonight. I need to jump on this meeting before they start looking for me.
All right, take care. And the interesting thing is, like, it is less likely that somebody with a son, when you have boy moms and men who pass down patriarchal thinking, like, because it's like you're thinking about their future, And a lot of times, the future that they envision for their sons is one that he's powerful over people, so he can have access to resources. So, like, it does become this selfish thing, which is crazy. But go ahead, dog horse.
And I was gonna say I agree that it has to be like a protected, and even the wives aren't protected. Like men don't get married and then have this thought, right? It only had there's a woman that I need to protect, so the wives are not what they need to protect. So I think it's interesting that it's only when they have children and they're girls that this thought comes about, right? It's just in the way that society has us thinking that we're supposed to be prioritizing our husband and spouse, and you realize that he ain't give a F about you. Them daughters came along, that was different. But now that the daughters come, we're going to change it up. It just lets you know how men see women, especially in romantic relationships. But when it comes to the children, now that's all out the window. Now we gotta kind of change up and protect to an extent.
Now,
To an extent.
but the thing is about the children, right? Is that a lot of times they see their children as an extension of themselves, and they think, well, like for some men, it's like, well, I don't want other men to get one up on my daughter because that says something about me as a person. Like if my daughter getting fucked over by men, it's reflecting on me as a person. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily they're having empathy enough to see what her experiences are. It's still a competition. They'll compete through their children, which is weird.
Oh, so it's not about the children. Okay, it's still about them. Okay, now that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Hey, you brought it home for me because I was like, this ain't making sense. But it makes
No,
sense.
ain't about them damn kids. It's like that's the thing too. It's like it say it like this. Some men would be shamed that their daughter is a baby mother because in their mind, she's supposed to be the better woman. She was able to go out there and get the same man they tell a lot of us that we can't get, or they are and they don't be. They want her to have this show off, but only if. But he got to remember, he also got to compete with him. And that might sound funny, but it's like when you got a relative who will like talk down on you, but then brag about you to other people.
They will. And that makes sense too about the dads competing with the son-in-law or to-be son-in-law as well.
Yeah, you could be that dude, but you can't be better than me at the end of the day. It all go back to the ego thing. We end up back in the ego.
They blame it. They blame it on I can grill better than you, but it goes way deeper than who can grill the better steak. Trust me.
No, it's no. Who can afford the better grill? Who can get the better meat? And who got the better sandals? Like what the fuck?
It's a lie. It's deep. Y'all gotta stop. You men gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. But everything you do can't be for another man. But all these examples coming out. Prove it a prompt. I appreciate it.
I want to ask you a question though. What do you think, or anybody can respond if y'all want to come up and answer, like for women to recognize that the thing, because the narrative is that men do what they're doing is for us. Like he doing all that for you. He's showing off for you, jealous because of you. Like he doing better because of you. What do you think happens when women realize, oh, he's not doing any of this for me. He's actually doing it for other men. Hey, double.
Hey. I was thinking there's a dang, I can't say it. There's an unalivement that happens to a lot of your ideals and the things that you were doing, realizing that you weren't going to be recognized like you believed, right?
Yeah.
The recognition didn't come from the person you're doing it for, like your spouse or your child or whoever you're doing it from. When you realize that it's not coming from them, you're going to have like a little ego unalignment happening, I think. And that's going to be a place that you either sit in and kind of stay in, and it's kind of the woe is me. Or hopefully you realize that maybe you should be focusing on yourself like they're focusing on themselves, right? And not have everybody in the house working to support one ego. and make him feel and look good. Everyone starts to kind of focus on themselves. That's supposed to be. We'll see.
Yeah, and also it comes to like you know how we say that the bar is in hell, and it's like it's bare minimum. You realize that bare minimum ain't had nothing to do with it. It don't look so good anymore. Sir, why you say that we overthinking men?
Um, as a man myself, with a woman that I love, most everything I do is for one, for God, but for two, it's for my family. Be she be a part of it or just the kids. So most of what I do is for my morals. Um, and my morals are based off of how I was raised to see what I value as what's important. Whether it's I'm valuing looking good, or I'm valuing my leadership skills, or I'm valuing my presence on the workforce that allows me to make this money and put my wife and kids in this big house. This money and put my wife and kids in this big house. And that's what we do most of our stuff for, is our morals. And some men's morals, reflect off of their prowess as a lion, to be able to have lots of women attracted to them. But they handle it negatively if they act on their feelings. So it's just different for each man.
I don't know. I mean, because when you say, it's for God, it's like that's the man you want validation from. But when you say, that you take care of your family, you got the big house, right?
Uh-huh.
How do you feel like other men feel about that?
I don't too much care. Cause if my lady says she want to live in a small house so she don't have to clean that much, then we'll move in a small house.
What do
But
you mean you have to clean that much?
if we got 10 bedrooms and it's just me, her, and two kids, and she's like, I don't want to have to clean these other 6 bedrooms, and they're just
You
wasting
don't
space.
you don't participate in domestic labor?
Huh?
You don't participate in domestic labor?
What's domestic labor?
Cleaning the house and doing dishes, helping the spouse.
Oh, like me cleaning the house and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna do that. I don't have no problem
It
with
don't sound like
that.
that because your response was that she would do it.
Yeah, she normally gonna do it while I'm at work. If she's just at home, and then my kids understand that if they make a mess, that I've taught them to clean it up, so that she doesn't have to go behind them. So the only mess she might be cleaning up is either what she might make, or if she made some dinner and then she had some extra pots, she might wash them.
But that's what I'm saying. You said you gonna make sure your kids clean up, so she ain't gotta do it. So she's the one doing all the cleaning.
Yeah, she'll clean up her messes, or it's not too much she really has to clean. It's not like she has to go and you know clean the vents and sweep up under all this heavy stuff. It's not a lot she's got to do. My house pretty much. It's not a lot she's got to do. My house pretty much stays clean.
I hear what you're saying, but based on what you're saying, I'm just pointing out that she's doing the domestic work. So when you said the leader, how important is that to be the? I guess you one of those people who think that you're the head. Do you believe you're a head household?
As far as, yes, I am, because if something goes wrong at the house, then I know, the public or the government will come to me first, and I'm the one that has to deal with the repercussions, be it financially or responsibly or socially. I'm the one, or if somebody comes and break in the house, I'm the one they're gonna come to. So in that aspect, but as far as like if she says, hey, I want to do this, I'm not going to be like, well, let me check my book of what you can and can't say. She's her own person.
So how are you the leader outside being a glorified ATM machine?
If somebody come in the house and burn the house down, she's going to look to me. If somebody come in the house and break in, she's looking to me. If somebody says, hey, you need power at this house and you have to have this done, she's not going to say, okay, well, let me look at my pocket. She's going to say, okay, babe, what do we need to do? And in that situation, if she say, well, this is what we need to do, and she don't know how much money in the bank account, she don't know what deals outside the house that I've already made, then how could she be the leader if she doesn't know the details? At that point, she's just saying, I want to be titled the leader, but I want you to do all the legwork and make all the decisions, and then come to me whenever I have no information.
I don't know. It sounds like the opposite, to be honest, because when you say somebody gonna break into the house, I don't know what, like, how bad your neighborhood is, but I don't know. Maybe your house get broken into all the time. I don't know, but when you say, to pay for something, again, it's back to being a glorified ATM machine. So my thing is, like, outside of paying for things, right? Because if she coming to you, like, if I'm a project manager and I'm working on a project and I'm like, oh, I need money for whatever, and I go to the budget, you provide the budget, but she's still the project manager.
So if you go to who would you be going to?
As a project manager?
As a project manager, who would you be going to?
Well, it depends on the type of project it is, but I'm saying, like, the project manager is managing the project. And in
Okay,
this case,
so a family is more than a project. It's definitely not a project.
No. She the program manager then. His multiple projects. But it sounds like she's managing, because you're not saying, you take care of these things on your own. You're saying when she come to you for things that she needs. So that's what I'm saying. You're saying that you provide finances, but not much more than that. You provide finances, but not much more than that.
You're right. Like I really don't provide a house for her and go to work and pay the bills, and then she get to sit at home and eat. You're right. She's forced to have to. She's forced to have to clean up after herself. I'm sorry y'all have to clean up after yourself. That's rough. I wish we could have a robot, which men are working on making robots so you don't have to clean up after yourself.
And see, right now you feeling defensive, but you still, like, you're not getting it.
I'm answering your question. You're saying that I make her clean up after herself, because what I said to you, you make her clean the house.
No, that's not what the conversation's about. I said, how do you lead the home? Because you say, like, I said, how do you lead the home? Because you say, like, a leadership came up. Besides being a glorified ATM machine, like, you pay for stuff. Got it. You on the budget team. Like, you gave the money, fine. But how are you leading the house outside of that? And, like, besides that, and burglaries?
I dictate the morality of my children with her support to protect them from becoming like most of the kids that don't care about, the laws, or, I try to give them a spiritual relationship, because without God, there's no protection for anybody. So I try to give them that backing, and with God in the society, it definitely makes it better.
Well, I mean, that's your perception of it, but you say you dictate the morality of your children. So essentially, it sounds like you just want to be the leader by name and not action. Because you don't dictate morality just by saying, oh, this is the religion or the doctrine that we follow. You got to do this, X, Y, and Z. That's indoctrination. But I was talking about, like, the day and day, how's your, like, the household running. Your wife is doing that. It sounds like you, like, yeah, a dictator. You saying things, but you're not doing the work behind it. And it's like you're the self-appointed leader, because I feel like you feel like
she definitely picked me for the leader, because without me, she had to get up and go to work, pay the bills, and take care of the kids. With me, she get to sit at home, she get to go on vacation, she get to enjoy the benefits of having a relationship and the money. I mean, now we could be real out here. The money is what make a man.
I let it for her. Your woman, your wife, she got it. Like, I ain't gonna put her game on blast. She got it. But what I'm saying is, like, you are the self-appointed leader, though.
Not self-appointed. My kids and her all definitely. Not self-appointed. My kids and her all definitely will take a vote. And right now, if I'll step back and say, okay, who wants to be in charge? They're gonna step back and say, okay, well, you in charge. We want you to be in charge because you run this ship like the best captain in the world, Pops.
You're not running the ship. You're paying for it.
I'm paying for it, but that's how you run a ship. You put the fuel in it.
It's not.
The fuel is money.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. You think
okay, so how do you pay for? How do you run a ship without money?
I just told you, like, if let's say I have, like, I'm gonna come away from the project, right? I'm on the ship. The ship needs supplies. I'm gonna come to you for supplies because you give the money. But I'm still managing the day to day. I'm still taking care of everything that need to be done. But in your mind, like I said, you like I'm the leader. But if that's
Okay,
what
so
listen, if you need to be
inventory
the leader to
control.
give up the money, then so be it.
Inventory control is definitely not the boss of the warehouse.
It's only one component though. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of
Right,
other.
inventory is one component. You can manage inventory, that's fine. You can manage inventory. But going to get it is way harder than bringing it to the house and having it there.
So you provide delivery services.
I mean, Walmart do that. So you can just get on the phone and order from Walmart. You know they got that Walmart delivery
But
that
that's what
make
I'm
it
saying. That takes
convenient.
leadership skills and initiative to see that something needs to be purchased from Walmart for the functionality of the
You know,
household.
see how you telling me? That's how she tell me. And then when she tell me, I say, okay, well let's do that.
Yeah, she's telling you what to do. That's what I'm saying. Why do you think you're the leader? If she's telling you what to do, she's telling you what those money needs to be spent on. Like, why do
Uh,
you think you're the leader?
because I think that whenever a real situation, as far as like danger, if something danger happens, she not finna say, okay, let's do this.
So you the
She
bodyguard.
she finna by instinct, by instinctive nature, she finna just look at me
No,
and
you're not. You're the
engage.
bodyguard. If something go wrong in this danger, you gonna step in front of everybody else. Got it. But
Right.
my
So
question,
so
that's
so
what I
I'm the
said. Like, what
president.
kind of? But how often does danger? Like, how many times have you had to sacrifice your body to save your family?
Every day at work, I do that by making sure them bills is paid, so they're not living in the streets, so they can be with each other, so they can have a good upbringing. So she's at home is somebody that loves them, is there with them, and not somebody that's a babysitter that's paid by the hour that don't have their heart in it.
I mean, I get what you're saying. You financing, I give you that. But at the same time, the person
But
who's showing up
it's
is
more than
doing it. No,
financing.
no, no. It's not sounding like it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, other than those aspects, the best I could do is once again financing to make sure that we could go to the park, we could go out to on vacation together, and live life. But it's not too much more I can do than that.
So her wants are also accounted for, right? So life is okay if you put it in terms of like, okay, I'm going to provide your basic needs. The ironic thing is like human beings have things outside of that. Of course, that's paramount when you're raising children that you want to baseline is I want to be able to provide your needs. But then there comes the other part of satisfaction with life. I'm going to say that I hope that you're happy. I don't know you and I don't plan on getting to know you. But you don't sound like somebody who gives a fuck about romance, happiness, wants, or any like her personhood. Like she's the mother, but you said she's sitting in the house. She's sitting in the house. Like that is something to me that says that you don't value the physical contribution that she made if she gave birth to those children, because that changed her inevitably for the rest of her life. The contributions in terms of being mentally checked in and dialed in, because you said that clearly you think she loves them and they believe that she that and they love her. You made that clear, but you didn't say I love them. But the fact that she's doing that means that she has empathy, compassion, that she's nurturing them, she's teaching them, she's doing all these things that you in your mind say, well, I'm throwing money at it so that I can go to work every day and then I can sit on TikTok and talk shit because I threw money at it. But the things that deal with the human being aspect of your children and your wife, you really haven't spoken to. You think going on a couple of vacations and having a roof over your head is something that this woman should just be content with, and that just means everything because she could be homeless with some other person. It's weird to hear you, but I'm just letting you know how it sounds.
It's like
Hey
children.
y'all.
Hey, what's up, Molly? It's like when children say, children get real resentful of parents who throw money at everything and they don't have the emotion, like they're not emotionally available, they're not there for them. Um, but yeah, if that's what I have to bring is money, I'm gonna like my money means so much. Yeah, you need the money to manage the household, but you're not managing the household. That's the whole point. The person who manages the household, who manages everything and makes sure everything's taken care of, that's the one leading everything. But whatever. Duckles, you want to say something?
Um, I was, but I think my Lisa kind of addressed it already. So you can let E go. E, where you at?
I'm still right here. I was just listening to y'all and letting y'all say y'all's piece. And as far as romance, I didn't want to put too much out there, because we like our privacy. But as far as my typical 9 to 5 outside of work, because those are the main questions y'all addressed me with. As far as my romance with my lady, um, we have no problems there. We're very happy. Um, every now and then, I do what I can to surprise her. Of course, with kids, there's only so much I can do. I do remember most of the important holidays, Valentine's, her birthday, and I try to arrange things for that. But as outside of that, and maybe I can do better, which is what I will take from this, is to try to focus on that. I do love my kids. I definitely love my kids. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that. My kids come first. That's why I do what I do. But I do thank you guys for the advice, and I'm a step off. I'm just gonna listen to everybody else talk.
All right, what's up, E?
Hey, what's up, T? How you doing, T? With that being
Who
said,
the
as
hell
far
is
as
T? Who the hell is T?
I caught you T for Tara, but
That's Tara.
come on, let's not do this. I've been calling you T. Come on now.
I'm gonna call you G again.
You gonna call me G?
I was calling you G last time.
I know, I remember.
Go ahead,
Hey,
G.
hey, they like G more than they like me, so I
His
appreciate you
ain't
doing
gonna be
that.
sassy for after last night.
My
Oh my
Lisa, my
god.
Lisa, that girl
Oh
lied
my
on me. My Lisa,
god. Ain't gonna be sassy for after last night.
my
Oh my
Lisa, my
god.
Lisa, that girl
Oh
lied
my
on me. My Lisa,
god.
Melissa, you've
Last
seen it for
night.
yourself. You've seen it for yourself, though, my Lisa. When girls try to come up there and expose me, they just end up looking dumb.
I don't think either one of you
Hold
did
up, y'all.
anything
Hold
to
up,
me
y'all. Hold up,
that was
y'all.
cool.
I don't know
Go
where the
ahead.
fuck
Go
y'all
ahead. My
came
bad.
from.
Now, but with that being said, though, far as the topic, I disagree. Here's why I disagree. When men go out and get the haircut, they go get the new clothes, the new latest fit, and all of that. That's to seek validation. That's for validation from you, woman. That's not from a man, unless they already identify as in that community. And most men don't. The statistics show that a small percentage of men are actually not DL, but actually GAY. You can't. There's no statistic on DL,
We
man.
don't need to talk about your personal life. Listen what I'm saying. Like,
You always do this. Go ahead.
no, but I mean the truth is the truth. When you
I have a
I'll
whole,
say y'all
I
no.
have a whole
Y'all who
girl. I have a whole girl, so I can't be DL.
alright,
This is
G, whatever. That's the whole point of it. But what I'm saying is you going out there and getting your hair cut and all that. You talking about all the money you got. We know you got money, right? Because like
no. I don't speak on all the money I got. I've been very transparent. I don't. I've been very transparent. I don't do
my
that. I don't come up here
understanding
and.
from you is that you make more than everybody.
No,
Like
I
that's
never said that. I never said that verbatim. I don't come up here. I'm not one of those people that come up here and act like I make 6 figures, and I know I don't. I work a regular 9 to 5. I make 60K, and I live paycheck to paycheck like most Americans do. I've never came up here and acted like I got more money than someone. Nope, that was never the case. Have I challenged someone to go band for band with me? Yeah, I can do that, but eventually it will come to an end. I'm not acting like I got more money
why you challenge somebody to go band for band.
because I'm in the situation where I can do that. I can go band for band with someone, band for band, not million, not M for M, band for band. I can
But
do that.
why? Why are you going band for band? Not did you? Why?
Oh, when someone calls me broke and I tell them, oh, okay, cool, let's go band for band. Yeah,
But to some people you are broke.
that's fine.
So why do you need to go band for band? Why do you be like, damn, you know what? Maybe I am broke. Considering this person, I'm broke. Like, why don't you
You know
just?
what? That's a good approach. I'm gonna just start saying that I'm broke.
I'm just
And
saying
I would even reach. I would even reach and say most of us to all of us are broke.
you ain't going to get no pushback from me. What I'm saying is like when it comes to like comparing finance to another person, you are trying to like outdo them. You are trying to dominate them. That's the reality of the situation. Like it's like that's supposed to be a win for you. Like, look, I got these, I'm doing this with my money. You ain't doing shit. It's a status thing. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when men fixate on women or they try to do things about themselves to be more attractive for women, it's to get status. Men association with women gives them status. That's why a lot like y'all say shit is deplorable and y'all repeat red pill talking points because like that's what men tell y'all to say. And y'all like, all
Men are
right.
not telling us to say that. I'm telling you, when I go and get, well, not anymore, because like I said, I'm dealing with somebody right now. When I go and get my hair cut, which is probably every 2 weeks or probably once a month, depending on how I feel, I go and do that for the woman to get, you know what I'm saying, for the woman. Not necessarily doing it just to get the woman, but I do it for women. I don't do it for men. That's an outrageous statement to even say. I don't think most men do that. Most men go when they go out there and they go and get fly, and it's all for the woman. If they don't, and if they do have a woman, it would still make what I'm saying true because it's for their woman.
But that's what I'm saying though. I do know that y'all want women, but not for the reasons that y'all say y'all do. Because if that's the case, a lot of women would be in relationships with men who gave a fuck about her emotions.
So what do you think men? What do you think men say they want women for them?
Now I know what y'all say, right?
So what do you think the reasons are?
No. Just like how my Lisa had to tell you below you, are you focusing on a romance? Are you focused on her as a whole person besides like, oh, I'm providing these things for her because that's another thing like it validates him as a man versus what he does to have her validation.
Okay, so let me tell you. The woman that I'm dealing with right now, she makes more than me. And like I told you, I work a 9 to 5 and I live paycheck to paycheck, but I still, within that living paycheck to paycheck, still make time to plan dates. I pay in full. Not saying that I'm not trying to say that, trying to use it as a flex. That's what's expected of men to pay for the dates, right? I still do all these said things. So I don't think that that's the case of what you're saying. There is dudes that, like I said, if a dude likes, just like when a woman likes the dude, she'll spend her money on it. If the dude really likes the woman, he's gonna go all out. Just like dudes that go, you know what I'm saying? There's videos out there that prove what I'm saying is true. Dudes are out there actually doing it. There is women out here, not even in the exclusive stage. They're just dating. They're just dating these men, and men are taking them to 5-star restaurant and all of that. If a man really likes you, right, he's doing those said things. So the men that you're talking about, they don't really like these women that they're encountering.
Listen what I'm saying. If we lived in a society where men gave a fuck about women's validation, women would not have all the problems that we have. Is the point? Like if men give a fuck about women's validation, then women would not have to fight for their rights. That's the thing.
I
Men
disagree.
would be like, no, because it's like men would make sure that women had access to everything they need. So they're seeking validation from women. They would behave in the way that women ask them to behave, but we see that that's not happening. Men behave in ways that other men value. The dominance, even that fact that you're talking about your money and not your mental state says something because men value money. Your money allows you to have access to resources. No resources allow you to control women in a society where women are subjugated. It's not that simple. It's not that complex. But it's like you're trying to be like, no, it's for the woman. It's for the woman. No, the reason why you like, oh, I got a woman in the first place is such a status as a man.
Wait, what are you saying? I heard the first part, like that last part. What are you saying? The reason why I said I got a woman? No, I'm not saying. First of all, I'm not in an exclusive relationship. That's one. I'm in a talking stage with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like we're vibing, we're getting to know each other and shit of that nature. But it's, you know what I'm saying? I actually like her. And that's why I do even with living paycheck to paycheck, I still do the things that you know what I'm saying? I'm planning some shit right now as we speak. I got shit in motion for her. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it all stems back to a man actually liking these women. I can seek validation from women, but not want to deal with those said women that I'm trying to seek validation from. Women have done it all the time. Women, they you know what I'm saying? They put on the makeup and this and that. Doesn't mean that they want these men. They just maybe like the compliments that come with it. These said things that we're doing, the makeup, the haircuts, the just enhancements, period. Enhancements to your beauty, to your look, period, can be, I want to feel good about myself and I want someone else to tell me that I look good and that, you know what I'm saying, validate me on what I already know about myself. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to deal with those said people that I'm getting the compliments from. Like I said to her, men step up and do. You guys scream provider, leader, protector. Men are only doing that for women that they like. So
No,
they're
that's
not
the point. No, that's the point. Is what I'm trying to say.
what that men.
No, that's what y'all say. That is what men say. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yeah, we're telling you, dude. That we're telling you. I'm
No,
telling you the
no, no,
truth.
no. No, y'all tell us exactly. Men tell women what they want, and then they behave according to that. But it's men setting a standard for themselves. You are looking for the validation from other men. That's what men are valuing. That's why when women talking about stuff that's more about intimacy and emotion and fucking mental health, y'all fall short because it's not about
Yeah,
what
that's
women
false.
want.
I
That's
don't.
false.
I think we're more. I think men is more emotionally available to women than therapists. I honestly think that is the case. I just think that men don't are no one is emotionally available for men, but men are actually out there taking on other women's traumas, baggage, luggage from other relationships, or even past traumas. Period. That's happening more than it is happening for men. This is by
That's
far a fact.
wow. That is so not
That is
true.
by far a fact.
Go ahead, Dark Horse, Lord.
I wanted to say that the financial portion is usually what's pushed, as far as, hey, this is how I'm showing up. But there are things that a man's money can't buy. And that's the things that we are kind of yelling about that isn't being heard. So if you're talking about our rights, you can't go and buy me rights to get an AB in this state. You can't go and buy and say that I get to vote without being married, because that's what they're pushing next. Like, there are things that you cannot buy that is essential, but that also is separate from men, right? So if it's anything attached to y'all, we kind of get it under the umbrella. But if it's something that's solely to benefit women and it doesn't in any way benefit men, those things are left off of the table. And it's kind of, hey, focus on this. I can buy you this. I put you in the house or what have you. But don't worry about those other rights and stuff like that. You don't need those. I've got you over here because I bought you this car. So it's a way to have us ignore things that affect all women. And it goes down to the my woman. The gentleman below you is talking about the my woman. You're talking about my woman. And women are talking about all women. And that's the conversation that's, I believe, we're having that's a little bit different. That's it, Elaine.
But to a response to that real fast, when you say they put you in the house, the thing that when women come when women come are approaching men nowadays, not even approaching. When I say approaching men, I'm talking about with their standards, not physically approaching, because men are doing that, right, more than women, obviously. But when women are coming with their standards, the first thing that's on their list is provision, right? That includes financial mainly. So that's the thing that I don't get. You're screaming provider, and obviously you're talking about financial. But when we start talking, when we're in the talking stage, and I'm splurging my money and telling you I got this, I got that, and I'm showing you that I got this and that, you guys get turned off by it.
No, not necessarily turned off. It's kind of disproportionate right now, saying that a woman needs you for all of those things. And I could be wrong, but most men aren't picking up a woman and her kids and they homeless on the side of the street, right? They usually have their basics covered. So what they're saying is, hey, I've got my life essentials taken care of, but I won't be going to take care of you if you don't have your life essentials. So what they're saying is, are you already providing and you're sustaining yourself entirely? Because I may be sustaining myself entirely. So that's what it is. In 2025, it doesn't make sense financially for anyone to be sitting at home and someone else taking care of the other person. It
Okay,
just doesn't.
so you believe
So
in 50-50.
no, I believe in pro rata. And I ain't gonna harass y'all with that because it's gonna get nerdy and people gonna leave. I believe in a pro rata split. Because pro rata takes into account assuming that both people are operating at their fullest potential or where they can at that point. That is fairness. It's not even always fairness with the pro rata because that person may decide I'm not going to work. I'm not going to get a certificate. I'm not going to do anything above this minimum here. So it can, in some ways, become uneven if someone is working harder and someone else that is not putting forth that effort. So it's very nuanced. It's literally a case by case. But what I'm saying is, if someone is not asking for you to provide 100% financially because it is a very scary and unshaky situation, because if they walk away now, what do you have, right? So it doesn't make sense for someone to do it, even if he is providing 100%. He doesn't have enough that he can save for himself and give you a salary, and you can save for yourself. It is not equal. It is not equal. You're going to be living off of what he has, and that's it. But you are not going to be putting away in the bank the same thing he puts away. You're not going to have the same thing every 2 weeks that he has. He's not splitting the stuff down the middle with you. Absolutely the fuck not. And that's the real thing. So I don't listen to I'm the 100% provider. So you're not, because that lady's not getting the same thing you got. She ain't getting money into her 401k at the same rate that you're putting in at yours. All of that stuff. So that's just dumb. So that's why I don't believe in this. I'm 100%. But I do believe that if you're coming to the table, stop talking about finances, because we all have to work. It's what Tara said. What can you do outside of that? Most of these women are not homeless, destitute, and on the street when you meet them. Can they be? I guess, but that's not what I'm hearing going around. Most of us are living on something very, very basic. We're in the poor. We're in the bottom of the economic pyramid, but we're still making it, and we're still at least taking care of ourselves there. So if someone comes along, yeah, I think they should be meeting, matching. According to patriarchy, you should be doing more. According to patriarchy, that's all I'm going to say. That's it. But it's just a little different. I'm going to go back on mute.
Yeah, because when you say that the person you in a relationship with makes more money than you, and then you said when a woman likes a man, she'll pay for things too.
Yeah,
You recognize like it's way more than just finances. But a lot of y'all fail to
I look
realize
past
the
that though.
reason. Hold on, huh?
I look past that though. I don't look. I
No,
don't just
but
look at
this is what I'm
finances.
saying. They ain't about nothing pants. What I'm saying is,
No,
we
you said it's just finance. You said something about just
no,
finance. I'm
listen what
saying,
I'm saying. We live in a society where men hoard resources to have access to women. So in that case, some women are going to like make sure she get access to resources. That's how it's set up. That's that woman playing the game. That's what I'm saying. It becomes a transactional thing because y'all make it a transactional thing. That's what I'm saying. Because the standards are set by men. It's not women setting the fucking standards. That's what I'm
I
That's
disagree.
saying.
so cap.
Yeah, I was about to say I disagree because when men approach women, they're not asking about their money. Most men aren't. Women are coming talking about how much you know what I'm saying. Most men don't give a fuck about the woman's money. That's most men. I'm not saying all. That's most men, right? We're not approaching you asking you about your degrees that you
It's like
guys
I
put
said
on.
one thing and you heard
But
something
hold
totally
on.
different.
No, no,
But
no, no,
that
no.
doesn't,
You
but
said
that's
you
not, but
said
no, they don't ask about the money because they don't even care about her humanity.
no, no, no. Hold on,
Most
hold
of
on.
the time, it has to do
Let me
with,
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Hey, let him land.
Yeah, yeah. Let me finish because you said that men are the ones that's coming with the talking about the finances and this and that and the third. That's why I disagree with you about men are not doing that. Women are. You hear it online. You hear it offline. That's false. Men are not asking when women are putting these their degrees and their businesses on. You hear it offline. That's false. Men are not asking when women are putting these their degrees and their businesses on the pedestal. Men are not asking about that. They don't give a fuck about that. And back to what Horse was saying about the whole, you know what I'm saying, 100%. I agree with you, but women are coming to it. They're not even talking to 50-50 talk. They don't want to hear about the 50-50 talk. Most women are asking for men to pay all, if not majority, of the bills that's in the household, right? We know, and then that's when I say that that's unrealistic because most Americans can only provide for themselves, right? They're in a situation where they can only provide for themselves. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans can only pay for their necessities, right? So when women are coming in here talking about I want a provider, right? They're not talking about a man going 50-50 with them. They're talking about a man that's providing for their lifestyle that they got going on. And I land.
yeah, but they're talking, so like multiple things are happening all at once because you're putting a different, like different groups of people within the same classification all lumped up together. The women who are asking for those things are being approached by men who pretend or perhaps maybe have those things but don't give a fuck about certain other aspects of that woman because For the most part, you're probably looking at the aesthetics, how it's going to make you look if your friends find out that you're with her, or she's just that appealing to you that you're pursuing her and she's looking at you like you're really not the shit. And so I'm going to require that of you specifically. So it has to do with those two types of people that are coming together, and that's why those women are asking for that. In general, like with Dark Horse, I don't know why you call it a horse. That got under my skin so bad. But anyway, was is talking about like most of us are taking care of ourselves, but men do, because as soon as something happened, you broke bum ass bitch. Da, 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 you could just hear the thing of running off. If the same young lady that you was talking so nicely about, that you're getting to know, and she's letting you get to know her and blah 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 blah, you be quick to talk about something that she's not living up to because, oh, she got a little bit of money but she had roaches and like, it just depends on the situation. You guys are subject to change like the wind because of just how ego driven you guys are. And yes, y'all do get concerned about money at a certain point, but initially, you're not asking about the money because you don't care about that person. And a lot of times, the connections that you're talking about are for people who are presenting superficiality or trying to purchase their way to people that they understand are going to look down on them for whatever reason. Because those people are just mean people, because those people have pretty privilege, whatever the reason is that they're going to look down on you. So yeah, you're coming at it with what you can offer, because you yourself may feel inadequate and aren't picking people for quality purposes, but because of aesthetic or attractions and different things. Like it's more nuanced than that. So saying that men don't, they absolutely do. I got this little bitch from the project. Like it's so weird how y'all do that. Like the lack of humanity in which you guys will look at women after they don't please you, or when your ego is harmed. That's why you got so upset yesterday. Your ego was super harmed. That's why you got so upset yesterday. Your ego was super harmed. You know what? I don't really respect a lot of some of the things you say, but you're a human being, so I don't got no beef with you. You haven't done anything to me that
Wait, you're
that
talking to me?
Yeah, you. I wanted you to, like, you wanted to present that to that lady, Roro, whatever, and you just wouldn't shut the fuck up. You had to go blow for blow. Just wouldn't shut the fuck up. You had to go blow for blow. So anything that you say today is fundamentally outside of our arguments, because when we be beefing, it's just me playing with you. I don't know you, so nothing I say is valid. I don't know you at all. But that was a moment where I said, okay, let me just see, when real life happened to this young man, how did he present himself when he could have shut the fuck up? And even if she was lying, who the fuck cares?
Nah.
Is your hold on.
See, that's the.
Is
I'm gonna
your
let you finish, though.
character is your me? Not that you had to. Not that you're wrong for how you handled it. That had to. Not that you're wrong for how you handled it. That's how you classify the types of women that you often engage with and why you battle so much. Is because there are times when I don't have to say shit to prove, because there's no prize that you got last night. You didn't get any money. You didn't get any praise. Your ego felt appeased because I showed that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Like, and that's the kind of thing that changes the narrative of the conversation that you're having when we talk about character and quality of person. I don't give a fuck about how much money. That's why they're asking you about a fucking Birkin bag, because they can see that your character is lacking, because you're leading with your appearance. You're leading with money. You're leading with materialistic things. So they're saying, oh, okay, nigga, well, if that's how you coming at me and that's how you look at me and you keep asking about, these things that are on the verge of provocative, I'm going to treat you like that. And last night you just showed me that when an opportunity exists, your ego is going to be top tier, number one, no matter what the situation is. And I just said, okay, I was right. That's it.
I guess, and that right there was a form of gaslighting in itself, because you're basically telling me that when someone comes up there and accuses you of something, especially something that of that matter, and trying to expose you in front of 150 people, that I should just shut up and take it and not try to defend myself.
That's exactly what she's saying.
That's exactly what she's saying, right? Cool. So cool. We'll go with that, right? That's funny. And then they want the man to be the bigger person, especially when the woman is, she did not mention anything that woman did, said that woman was wrong. Nothing. She did not mention anything that woman did, said that woman was wrong. Nothing about ego or none of that. Even though when she failed to realize that when I came up on that panel the second time, I didn't address that woman. I didn't address that woman at all. I disagreed with something that was said. I said, wait, there's a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of, I told her, I know a lot of people, not her in particular, but the host. I know a lot of people that are doing these sad things. She comes off of mute, had nothing to do with the conversation, and mentioned my occupation and said, well, he would know, he works in a shoe store, trying to be funny on a panel in front of almost 200 people. Then followed by that, I followed by that and said, what? That's weird. Why the fuck are you coming off of me to mention my shoe store has nothing to do with the fuck I said and this and that and the third. You're weird and you just seeking my validation. She rebutted that saying I was in her DMs, this and that and the third. So bada bing, bada boom. I said that's a fucking lie. I didn't even mention anything about screenshots, none of that. I said, hey, show proof that that's the case. Show proof.
You asked somebody to.
Ma'am, I'm still talking. I'm still talking.
But that's the whole thing. You're just proving my point that you egged it on. Nobody knows if either one of you was lying.
I am still talking.
You felt your ego.
You're talking about ego, and you just felt the need to unmute and interrupt me.
Yes,
That's
because
ego
you're telling
in
the
itself.
story as if it's going to change the fact that yesterday
I'm not,
your
ma'am,
ego
that's
is what
fine.
made you
I don't
get up
care
there
to
and put
change
them
the fact.
screenshots up there.
You're
Like,
missing
God,
the point.
Hey, gang, stop going back and forth. She's a fucking woman at the end of the day, but her opinion does not matter.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point, my Lisa. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem nowadays. You guys want men to bend over and take all the disrespect that you guys give us.
I don't want you to do anything. I just said I needed to know that your behavior was what I expected.
I'm not talking about you in particular because there's more women out there with your mindset, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said,
logic.
Women want men to come up. Yeah, that's logic. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
women continue to be saying the dumbest shit every day.
Yeah, every day, and it's telling, and that's why your recent video just went viral when you were talking about said woman that we're talking about now, right?
That shit is crazy.
But with that being said, though, yeah, women want us to bend over, take the disrespect, and at the end of the day, still be the best man that we can be to the said women that are disrespecting us on and offline. No. Y'all are upset at the fact, and this is why y'all came up with this new word called sassy. Y'all are upset at the fact that men are now woke. They're no longer doing what you want me to do, right? To bend over and just take whatever you're giving, right? Men are no longer doing that. They are now stepping up and speaking their mind and to response to the disrespect that women are giving men online nowadays. Point blank, period. You seen what transpired yesterday. You understand what transpired. You understand that woman mentioning, let alone that I was trying to fuck with her, that I was in her DMs, is ego alone. But you failed to mention that. Instead, you came up here today to address me on a situation that has nothing to do with today's topic that happened yesterday. That alone lets me know that's
it definitely does.
No,
ma'am.
Mischaracterizing something. That alone lets me know that's
it definitely does.
No,
you're mischaracterizing something because you led with the money. You wanna bring it up. You led with the money with that girl. You are the conversation. You are proof of the conversation that we're having.
We are on a different panel.
Like you were talking about money, but I'm talking about you. I'm not gossiping. I'm talking about your behavior. I've not said anything about her.
We're on a different panel.
I'm talking about your behavior and how you're exactly the opposite of what you're saying.
You came here to center me today.
I didn't come here to center you. I was already here when you came up.
That's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you did. You just came up on Tara's panel. Not only did you
contradicted yourself.
Not only you contradicting yourself.
He's gaslighting you, gang. Stop falling.
Yeah, I'm not even about it. Yeah. I'm already peeping it. That's why I'm gonna finish what I need to say. We're here today talking about everything a man do is for men. I don't know how the conversation translated from that to me and what happened on a different panel with a different host yesterday. By the way, came in here and glorified that host and gave them recognition. Thanks. And then came up here and mentioned my ego. No, the ego is that you came in here today and felt the need to mention something that let alone is ego. So when we mention ego, let's make sure that we're clarifying on the definition and what it actually means. Thank you. And I land.
Bro, you said all that shit knowing she don't give a fuck. Like I ain't like you are better than that.
It wasn't to her. It was
a
just
lot
in
of men are better than you, Flashy. That's a non-point.
They do not care.
That's a non-point. You've named yourself Flashy. That is just in and of itself, like just about your ego and materialism,
No,
and you talking about the money yesterday, in and of itself, like just about your ego and materialism,
no,
and you talking about the money yesterday
that
was
doesn't
what
work.
is
I'm not.
you.
I'm.
I'm not talking to
Hold
you
on, hold
now,
on, hold
Flashy. I
on,
was
hold on,
talking
hold on,
about
hold on,
you.
hold on, hold
You
on,
can
hold on,
wait.
hold
You
on,
can
hold on,
wait.
hold on. I'm
You
not
can wait
E.
a
I
minute.
promise you,
You know,
I'm not E.
I
I'm not
don't
about to go
care.
back and forth with your ass. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't care who
You're
you
not
are.
attractive enough to
I
me
don't
for me to
care who you
engage.
are.
Yeah,
I
I was about
don't
to say
care
that
who you
too.
are. I
Like
could
what
give
the
a fuck
fuck?
what you think about how I look. My
Mind you, this woman is
character
in her
will
50s with a single
I don't.
digit.
always look. My
Mind you, this woman is
character
in her
will
50s with a single
I
digit,
don't.
always,
with a single, with a kid
Exactly,
always,
that's
but
in
I'm
her
not
single
arguing, bro.
digits.
always,
Is she
always be
old, bro?
better
I'm
than
not
you.
Yeah,
arguing
she's
no
in her
old ass
50s.
woman,
She's
Always.
in her
bro.
50s, and her
Who
child is in
do I
her
look
single
like arguing with
digits.
somebody
And
old?
like
Your
I
time done
said,
passed,
Her
baby girl.
child is
and
in her
like I
single
Stop
digits,
said,
and
that
she's in
shit,
her
my
bro.
50s.
character is always going to be better
Yo
than you.
cares
Edge,
about your character.
insults.
Like
It is
No
what
one
literally.
it is.
cares.
It is. Your empty character,
No
your
one
poor
cares.
behavior
The
is
insults
just
are so
speaking to who you are.
childish.
Hold up.
That's it.
Let me up. I don't
Poor
Cares.
behavior
The
is
insults
just
are so
speaking
hold
to who
up.
you
childish.
are.
Hold up.
That's it.
Let me up. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what the
Not a
fuck.
goddamn thing.
Not anything
Hold up.
related
Hold
to the
up. Hold
topic.
up. Hold up. Hold up. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Bullshit.
Hold up. Hold up. Quick reset. Flash, you gonna respond to the prompt?
I'm trying to. I would love to.
Go ahead and do it.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. But what's good? How's your day going so far?
My day good.
That's what I love to hear. But everything men do is for men. For guys that like guys, yeah, I would agree 1,000%. But for a straight man, fuck no, that would never make sense ever, like ever. Because if it was because of men, like men are so simple to the fact that if we were doing things for men, we wouldn't need to be flashy. We wouldn't need to do none of that shit. Men are way too simple to even act as if like guys are seeking other men validation. Like I'm not saying we wouldn't mind the big guy at the gym saying, "Hey, you getting big," but at the end of the day, that nigga working out to look good to attract women. He ain't working out to look good for men. He's working out to look good for women. What are we talking about? If he wants money, it's to attract women.
Big
If he
muscular
wants to work hard,
bodies.
it's
What
for the
up?
women.
When it comes to like big muscular bodies, that's what men are attracted to.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
If you talking about them,
No, hold up. Like, I don't know if y'all, when people used to have magazines, them GAY magazines, you know how the men used to look? They wasn't like real feminine, soft bodies. No, it was hard bodies. It was hard bodies men was jacking off each other too.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit's so capped. Like, and the reason why I'm saying you talking about women don't like these hard body because once again these buff ass dudes are still smacking. They're still getting women. Like there's not a lack of women when it comes to being swole. If you're talking about them super duper swole ass dudes, them dudes are typically bodybuilders, which is a profession. It's a job. Yeah,
Now, I'm talking about the dudes that be in the gym. So you think women want hard bodies?
I think women like guys. I know for a fact women like guys that with nice bodies. You know how I know? I'm guys with nice body. Fuck. Like to pretend that women like fat dudes is just crazy work.
Don't say fat dudes. That's not what I said.
Hard body. Most guys, first of all, most people are not those guys. Like I don't know. That's literally not. Most guys aren't that guy. Like your genetics got to be fucking top tier, or you're taking a lot of roids. And even then, most guys are not that guy. So that wouldn't even apply for most guys for this conversation to be genuine at all.
No, I'm telling you, women. Listen, women don't want hard bodies. That's
what you're saying. You're saying that from a woman's standpoint, which is great.
This is my point. That's my point. Hold on. No, you're making the point. A woman's standpoint. That's the point. Women, it's like women things don't matter to y'all. You about to tell me?
Who do you think is sleeping with these women? You think Tarot's sleeping with these women, or you think men are sleeping with these women? Because your argument is so weird because you're looking at it from your standpoint. As somebody, no offense, you're not probably in the best shape of your life. Those women, big women typically don't want a hard body guy because a hard body guys remind them they have to actually work out. That's the disconnect. You genuinely believe women are not attracted to men that have six packs, are in shape in a rib. No, they do. The only thing is women typically, most women do, but for the most part, the ones that don't, they don't like it because they're scared. That means that man's gonna force them to work out, or they're gonna have to keep looking at him and knowing he gets women. That's the fear. It's an insecurity thing. That doesn't mean they don't want a guy that has a nice body and that's a hard body, like you like to say. What are we talking about? Crazy ass argument.
That's not true.
Here goes a big girl talking about she don't like a guy that works out, a guy that
No, I'm
ain't in
saying that
shape.
I am fat, big and fluffy, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that I don't I don't I don't get eight packs. Like it doesn't work that way.
So,
People like what they
so even
like.
you want
It's
that.
not this.
So
It's
even
not.
you want that.
Huh?
So
No,
even you
they
wanted that as
all I date.
in shape.
No, I date all body types. What I'm saying is that they're not grouped and coupled off like hard bodies over here with fit women or what have you, or fit women have to be with a hard body. It doesn't work that way. That I can date across the spectrum and then I'm not excluded from a certain type of body when it comes to men because of what I look like. They like what they like. That's what I'm saying to you. And I don't feel no
Yeah,
kind of
but
way.
that
I'm not going,
yeah, I get that, but the point is men are not working out because they're looking for the for a guy's validation. If we get it, we get it. That's cool. But the initial goal is typically to attract women. Because you got to understand the reason most, like, just specifically since we're talking about the gym, right? You have to understand the reason why most guys started working out, right? They either started working out because they were getting bullied, because girls wasn't choosing them. Those were the reasons. It wasn't, oh, I want validation from guys. No, I want to look better, to feel better, to attract women. And men are not afraid to say it or admit it. But yet women are finding it hard to believe that, and are trying to deflect and be like, no, you're just trying to get validation from men. That's dumb as fuck. Like, that don't even make sense at all.
no, we actually want a good person. We understand that aesthetics are important to men and whatever that is, whatever
You can have
aesthetic they're
both.
attracted to, that's what's important to men. And women, we can be attracted to you, but if you're a piece of shit human being, it doesn't matter that you got six packs. We're not effing with you. So
That's a
that's
lie.
how the
That's a
fluffy
lie.
dude gonna get in because we're not dealing with shitty behavior. That's
That's a
it.
lie. You know that's a lie. This is why I hate when you guys get on social media and lie, bro, or you project what you wouldn't allow. Because this is why I know this is a lie, right? The guys that are the F boys that's getting all the women, right? That the women say have horrible personalities. Those dudes, you know why they don't have to really talk? Well, you know why they're able to still get women? Because they're horrible dudes. You guys put this thing out on women as if women don't like guys with horrible characters. But somehow, all the guys with horrible characters are the guys that are having multiple girls crying about them, begging them. And like, y'all logic does not sit well when you actually apply it to reality.
Because you don't want to see the reality
Hold
that
on, hold on,
men are
hold
pursuing
on. Let me
women,
finish.
whether they're
This is the
good
disconnect.
character, whether they're
Hold
bad
on,
Let
hold
him
character,
land.
on,
they're
hold
pursuing
on,
Let him
women.
land real quick.
hold on. Let me finish. You keep trying to do this. Well, not mature. You trying to do this thing where you like mature women, the real women. Whenever you do these dumbass, the real women aren't the ones attracted to those guys. Yeah, most of y'all are not these quote unquote real women. Y'all keep trying to make it seem like a lot of y'all like F boys. This is why the conversation is so big in this community, because F boys are continually fucking y'all over and y'all getting y'all feelings about it, and we make thousands and thousands of long ass drawn out conversations about F boys smacking all the girls and getting all the girls. Like, what are we talking about?
Now, hold up. Here's the thing about that, because it's interesting when you say that. Like, you truly think women want to fuck with F boys, and
I
you
know
hold up. You're willing to accept that as reality, but not the reality that men set these standards that women don't agree with, and women end up getting fucked over in scenarios where they thought that reality would be something different based on those men told them. You don't think that
No,
like that's the standard that men upholding, and then
I don't
like
believe
that's
that.
part. Hold up. That's part of the reason why women are saying like these niggas ain't shit. Like you think women are saying niggas ain't shit, and at the same time, oh, that's what we want. Like you think that's what women actually want.
Yes. Yes, 1,000%. Because this is the disconnect you guys have, right? You hear what women say. For an example, this is the easiest example that would actually resonate with a lot of women, right? Women often say that my boyfriend ain't shit. He ain't this. He done did that. X, Y, and Z. And then she's right back to in being in his bed. She done told you out of her own mouth, this man ain't shit, but goes right back to him. So she acknowledged that he's a piece of shit. You know he's a piece of shit, and she still goes back and sleeps with him. What does that let you know? What women say and what women do are two separate things. So did he lie to her? No, right? Because this is how we know he didn't lie to her. Because she acknowledged that he was a piece of shit. The world said he was a piece of shit, and she still went back to him. and you want to believe that, oh no, he's just a manipulator. She didn't know. No, she's already acknowledged this man's horrible traits. But
No,
here
because
we
he
are.
is a manipulator. That's the thing. That's what you're leaving out of it.
So
That
okay,
he
so
is a manipulator.
with that logic, women are just so weak that's why the patriarchy will forever be a thing, because they're so weak to somehow.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what you're
But
implying.
you want to word
That's
it
what
like
you're implying.
no.
Because if they can acknowledge that he's a manipulator, they can acknowledge that he's a piece of shit and still go back to him and sleep with that piece of shit. That means this nigga is a Jedi mind. He's a Jedi master, which means women are not smart enough to get out of this mind trick. That shit don't make no sense. There's no logic behind your argument at all.
No.
It's either you guys are willing participant or you guys are weak minded. It's either you guys are willing participant or you guys are weak minded.
Flashy, the person that you with right now left her last dude, and the person you were with before that left another dude. You're not everybody's first, but but I'm telling you is that women do leave because that way you wouldn't be able to have no woman if no woman ever left.
That's
And you
not
know
true.
people are leaving. You see the divorce rates. You see single baby mamas. They're not with men. So no, every woman is not with a bad man. Can shitty people link up? People who are trauma bonded link up? Yes, but you're not. But no, you're not going to say that every woman is staying with the bad man. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a new man. It's not making sense.
That doesn't even make sense, right? Let's use your own argument, right? Women are leaving divorces. They're not leaving divorces and somehow getting with a good man. They're leaving divorces, still end up with a fuckboy.
No.
They get married to that fuckboy, and then they leave that fuckboy and go to another. They're not. This is the thing.
Calm down, sir. You yelling in your phone. Calm down.
My bad. You know, I'm passionate about it.
You yelling in your phone. Calm down.
My bad. You know, I'm passionate about this shit.
A lot of women.
Y'all logic don't be making sense.
Hold
People
up.
apply it to reality.
A lot of women, when they get divorced, don't remarry. They're not looking to
Go against my argument because reminds you.
against the argument because
Hold on. Let me tell you, because Black Horse said, "Oh, those women leave, right? Okay, great. They didn't leave.
Told her everything but her name. Who the fuck is that?
Dark Horse, Black Horse, Black Dark. Ain't that the same shit? My bad, Dark Horse. I apologize. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. But to the whole point though, right, is the fact that these women that even when they leave their marriages, right, they don't go find Prince Charming when they're single. They still end up with an F boy. Like, what are we talking about? Women are constantly saying
they're not staying with a lot of people. Once they've experienced something bad, if you show up and you got your representative, you're on all your P's and Q's, that's how they end up engaging with that person. But a lot of people are walking away once you show that ugly side. Are there
Where
some
did he
people
get
that go
from?
back?
What's the facts? How do you fact check what you
It's
just said? Because what you just said was a bold ass statement that you know for a fact you cannot fact check it. But you're saying it as if it's concrete evidence.
it's not just me. I'm saying that we all are talking about our anecdotal experiences here. Some of
But
it
we know people lie.
translates to stats that we can prove, but we don't have no boyfriend girlfriend stats, right? We don't have no sneaky link stats, right? So all of that has to be anecdotal because we don't have stats for that kind of thing.
Yeah, but
So
I
we
agree with
all are
you.
we're all looking around, and what we're seeing in our personal lives is that there are some people who are maybe insecure, they're dealing with financial struggles, whatever reason they're with a bad person, I know they're bad or what have you, but it is not showing up the way you think where that's the majority. People are with someone and it's something other than them being a bad person.
Okay,
Like I said, and that can be the manipulation. Now I'm stuck with three
let's
kids or
track
what
that
have you. It's
logic.
going to take me a few years to get away from it. Or whatever. There can be other things, but
So,
someone who values themselves and they're already independent or what have you, they're going to be like, nope, next, because they are not dependent on that person.
but
So if you take
okay,
out dependence, you can get anybody to sleep with for a night, but like tolerating somebody treating you poorly is not a necessity if you don't need them for anything.
but okay.
Can I make a quick just statement?
Go ahead.
So and I agree with Mr. I can't see your
Too flashy.
Mr.
Just
Too
say
Flashy.
flashy. Just flashy.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. If the thing I think you're trying to make a point and prove a point is if you can acknowledge something, it's like saying this, right? If I see a beehive and I know the beehive is dangerous, but I like bees, but I know they're dangerous, and I shouldn't get close to them, why should I go to them? Like, I know they're gonna sting me. So it's really an acknowledgement thing, and I think nowadays, especially with how the feminism culture has grown, I'm not saying that women are bad or men are bad, but there's a lack of accountability on both sides. But women more so will defer to the man to be like, oh no, like he was manipulative, oh he was that. But you're acknowledging the manipulation, you're acknowledging what's going wrong, but you're not taking the steps to rid yourself of that manipulation. And we see it now, exactly when you mention it, how there's a high rate of single mothers and stuff like that. That's because you're choosing poor men to have children with. You're choosing poor men to conceive with. Like these are things that are acknowledged on your behalf. We see these stories every day. The bitter baby mama, the bitter baby father, whatever. But it's just straight up acknowledgement. Like, take accountability for your decision. You made that decision. You can't turn around and go like, oh no, he manipulated me to do it, but I acknowledge that he's a manipulator. That
Let me
that
ask you a
doesn't make
question.
sense.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Right. I want you to think about it for a second.
Yeah.
If women rule the world, right? Do you think that it would look the same?
I don't. Okay.
Yes.
Explain to me what when if women rule the world, like what do you mean by that?
Worse.
We live
It
in a
would be
world
worse.
dominated. Hold up, Flashy. We live in a world dominated by men. If women are the ones ruling the world, do you think they would it would look exactly the same?
Okay. Let me ask. Let me. You know what? Let me answer that question. Yes. Let me tell you why. Right. So this patriarchy that's been built for quote unquote men's power and stuff like that, and I understand it is quote unquote men's power and stuff like that, and I understand it is a real thing, right? Do you guys not benefit from that as well? Benefit from that as well? Do you believe
Hold on,
women
fuck all that.
benefit
Let me answer
from it
that.
at all?
Let me answer that question. 'Cause I have an opposite take. I think it would. I think it wouldn't be the same into life. We wouldn't have people going through space. We wouldn't have all these inventions. We wouldn't have none of this shit because women are complaint like they're basically they're not. They don't have that type of are complaint like they're basically they're not. They don't have that type of that they don't have that type of drive men have. Like men want more. If it was up to women, the moment we came up with a dishwasher in a fucking the thing that washes clothes and shit, they would have been good. Like as soon as we took care of the convenience aspect for them, everything else would have been straight. We would have been living in little ass houses with no cars. We wouldn't be progressing as a collective of people, bro. Because women are fucking.
You're
That's about
right.
it.
The earth wouldn't be as sick as it is. We wouldn't be worried about resources in the next generation and
I want
running
to
out
ask.
of
I want to
things.
ask
You're
another question.
correct.
I want
Never
to
We
mind.
ask
wouldn't have. We
another
wouldn't have
question.
Hold
What type
up,
of
resources.
man?
y'all.
What
Hold
type of
up,
man do you
y'all.
want? What type of
Sir,
man do you guys want? Do you guys
hold
want a
up.
man?
Sir, hold up. She was still talking.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I can't hear you. My fault.
Ooh,
Damn,
it's
Tara, she
okay.
did cut
Then
me.
that would be
Tara,
one
she did
thing that
cut me
we
off.
would be able to enjoy is not being overtalked
Oh my
by
days!
men.
I just
That would be
apologized for
nice.
it. Jesus Christ.
Um, you're still doing it. You see how that works?
Yeah,
Just
because
Dark
it's
Horse,
proving
you know
loud.
the
I
you cut
can't
proving
me
the
off,
hear.
right?
point.
I just told you that.
Dark Horse, you know you cut me off to talk, right? You cut me off to talk. Like I know you.
Okay, go ahead and finish.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Queen. But yeah, like I said, overall, the world wouldn't be better at all because we're gonna keep growing because women are gonna keep fucking. Kids are gonna.
Flashy.
What?
The question, hold up. I'm gonna mute you, sir. The question was not would the world be better. I said would it be different
I
if
said
women.
yes,
Okay,
and then
okay.
I went explaining it. I said yeah. That was the first thing I said yes. It would be. I said it would definitely be different.
No, but
And
you
then I
talking
went
about
to.
better. Based on your perception of better. I'm just talking about different.
Oh
And
yeah,
if
it'll be different for sure. For
But
sure.
listen to what I'm saying. Because you are saying that women want men to be this way. They want things to be the way that they are. But at the same time, you're saying, well, if women were in control, things would be differently. That's a contradiction. And if women were in control, things would be differently. That's a contradiction.
It's not, because I explained why it would be different. Because you say, listen to the words you say. You said it wouldn't be the exact same, and obviously it wouldn't, because just by that statement, right? Women being controlled automatically means it wouldn't be the exact same. Because if we live in a world where men are the ones in charge, and you say now women are in charge, then obviously it's not the same norm. Because by that questioning, that means now it's a quote unquote matriarchy, which wouldn't make sense to act like it's the same thing. That's the whole point I'm trying to say.
No, matriarchies are egalitarian. They have different.
That's not true. You're just saying that shit just to
No,
say
it
that.
is. It
You're
is.
not. They're separate words for a reason. You don't add things to fit your narrative. That's not.
No.
A matriarchy is literally is geared for women being in
Synonyms
charge.
exist for a reason. You don't know what synonyms are?
You're adding words. You're adding words.
No, I'm saying the characteristics of each is what I'm saying. It's not just that it's a patriarchy. It's characteristics of a patriarchy.
You're literally adding words to try to make your own.
No. There will be characteristics of a matriarchy. That's all I'm saying.
What's the characteristics of a patriarchy? Go ahead.
A hierarchy. Patriarchy is based on hierarchy.
And a matriarchy is not.
No.
I just be saying anything, boy.
Women are more community minded. You can see that in 4K. You see women building communities.
What? Women are building communities. What?
Women do build community.
What communities women are building? One
example I could give you, a very blatant one, is kinship. When you think about how women, when we have rituals around tradition and how women bring family together, that's building community.
That's good. Wow.
But yeah, I was gonna say we're building the figurative community and the literal community. You know, we actually have them. We actually have them and build them. We have the people, and then we also, like she said, get the people together. But I wanted to say that it would look different because we wouldn't look to building things for looks. You ever hear people say when men build buildings, what they look like? Mine is bigger, mine is taller, mine is wider, mine is fatter, all those things. So a lot of that stuff that is happening, and I'm gonna also, because I want to talk about this men built the world thing, when we couldn't even have our names on anything. So if you want to talk about the last, let's say 300 years of innovation, how many of those 300 years were we even allowed to have our name on a patent or an idea? So because of the patriarchy and because the way society was set up, you men got the credit whether or not you did it. We will never know because we weren't allowed to. You guys made laws to make sure we couldn't do it anyway. And then you want to say, oh, all of that is my idea. You don't know whose idea it was because one gender wasn't allowed to even put it out there. Just want to say that. And then I said the world would look healthier. It would be more green space. It would be more things that would keep this world going for another however many years. But no, we're dealing with all kinds of crises when it comes to energy resources because of the way men will deplete resources without any regard for the next 50 years or next 100 years or the next 1,000 years. That's the issue. And if we had people that were more focused on other people besides just themselves in this moment and today, what they can make off of it, what they can have in this moment, then that's how the world would look different. But that requires somebody to be what? Community minded, to care about somebody other than themselves.
It's not that hard to get it. But I think it's interesting that y'all think that women who are constantly fighting and arguing with men, women who are, even when he mentioned like feminism is like going against what society is in a lot of different ways, and then be like, well, women was in charge would look the same. It's crazy.
Who said? Oh, that wasn't my argument.
No, I'm responding to what the guy said.
Well, I get where he was coming from though, because he assumes that it would basically be the same thing where women, if women were in charge, they would still want men to do all the dirty work, all the hard labor jobs. Like it wouldn't be women are in charge and all of a sudden now we're gonna have women doing all the hard labor jobs. So it would still be the same dynamic.
What about with relationships?
Same thing, because women wouldn't be wanting to be the ones paying the bills. They wouldn't be the ones that have to get down on one knee. Like they wouldn't want that dynamic. So to pretend that if the women were in charge, like they wouldn't still want men to still be the one proposing, still paying the bills, still being the quote unquote head of the household. Like,
But see, that's the thing. This is the thing. Even by you acknowledging the question, you're making my point. Even if
I
y'all
don't even
not,
get
no,
how
no,
that makes
no,
sense.
no, 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 because y'all, this is the thing. You recognize that you live in a male-dominated society, and that men set the standards, and men, because of status, appeal to other men to see where they fall at and how they should behave. It's
That
not about
doesn't make
women.
sense.
It does
Like,
make sense. It
no,
does make
bro, you
sense.
too smart to be doing that shit. Like,
No, no,
you
no, no,
you heard what
no,
I
no,
said, and then you
no, no,
try to
no. We're not gonna do
like
that. We're
put
not
a
gonna do
web
that.
to get it back
'Cause
to
you're
some
not
point that
getting
you
the
were making.
point. You're not getting the point, is what I'm
You're
saying.
making your own
If
argument
the,
that no
listen to
one
what I
made.
no, listen to what I'm saying. If if it was the way women wanted it to be, there would be no pushback from women. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to
What?
realize that
What are you
there would be no
talking about?
pushback. All
You're
right.
the pushback would. I just literally proved the pushback. Women still would want the men to pay the bills. They still would not want to get down on one knee and propose to a man. They still would not want to work those hard labor jobs. So if the society was ran by women, they like women wouldn't all of a sudden want to start working laborers jobs. Like, what are we talking about?
But that goes
So
back to what no, that goes back to what Dark Horse is saying. Because you like the laborers' jobs, like the miners, like the people, these men in the mines. No, women will be
I didn't
like,
say shit
no,
about
no, no, no.
mines.
I'm giving
I
you
said shit about
examples.
mines.
No, I'm giving you examples. So we got men who are in the mines. That's hard labor and it's a risky job. It's not like women gonna be like, oh, they continue to do it. Women would say, well, non-renewable sources of energy is part of the reason why we have climate change. It's bad for the environment. Maybe we should find better sources of energy, and that wouldn't even be an argument in the first place. We wouldn't even be talking about who worked the job. It wouldn't be a job because it's not good for us as a collective whole. That's the point you're missing.
That doesn't even make sense, nor is that based on reality. Like, this is the thing I'm saying. The fact that you believe women wouldn't argue as if women mindsets are in line. Like they're just gonna be like, yep,
Women
you're
won't
right, girl. No,
argue.
that's not reality. Like, you're lying. You're trying to get
I'm saying
women.
one thing and you saying another.
Listen to what I said and listen
But
to the
you,
argument you
but
tried
you
to
can't
trap.
say that.
Hold on. Tara, you made an argument about mining, right? I said hard labor job. I didn't even pick a specific job. You went to mining because you said there's another way we could go around to make that. That's an argument that you created to give yourself an out. I said hard labor's job. I didn't put a specific job, which means we don't have to talk about mining. But some jobs, there's no robots we're gonna build to do them. Some jobs it needs a human's touch. You talking about mining? We're just gonna find another way. No, that's not the argument I'm making. The fact that you tried to take it there is because you know you're wrong. Acknowledge the fact that if it was up to women, they would still want men to do these physical jobs. They would still want men to be the mechanics. They would still want men to be building the house. They would still be wanting men to do all of that other shit. Want men to be building the house. They would still be wanting men to do all of that other shit. So stop pretending like if it was ran
Can I
by women,
respond
we
to
would.
it?
Hold on, let me
About
finish.
the
Let
You
me
said
finish.
it 3 times.
Dang
We
it.
got it. We don't want to do the laborers' jobs. What's the new point?
What the new point is are you disagreeing with that?
I'm trying to, but you said you had a different point, so I'm going to hold
Oh, my
off on
bad.
the
Go ahead. My
laborers'
bad. I
job point.
apologize. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead. Cook up.
Um, no, I was just going to say that some of us actually like physical labor.
Oh my
So
God.
that
The
we
outlier
do
conversation.
it's not an
The
outlier.
outlier.
It's not
It's
an
not
it's not an
majority. Please don't do that.
it's
It's
not an it's not an
And
outlier
let her
majority.
conversation.
finish.
And let me
I'm
tell you
sorry, but
why
she's
it's not a
lying though. Like,
but
why
the
she
reason
lying though?
Flashy, control
listen,
yourself.
listen. The reason why it's not an outlier conversation is that all work is labor. So even if she's a traditional woman, that is a physical labor job. Physical labor. And we're not
What
even
are we
talking about the
talking
women
about?
truckers. It requires cleaning. It
Oh
requires
my
movement of
God.
your body. It
She said
requires
trucking.
Come
movement.
on,
But
Flashy.
so what I'm
That's
saying is
driving.
that
That's
that
driving.
what I'm saying is that yes, hooking and unhooking. So it depends on what kind of trucker she is. But what I'm saying is there are women who are in um what do you call it? The landscaping. There's women who paint. There's women firefighters. What is it? The misogyny keeps women out of these jobs. But yet there are women mechanics. There's women who do that. The number is small because of the misogyny in those fields, and men want to keep them out. But if there can, what I'm saying to you is it has to be something we cannot do. And it has to be something we cannot do. And there is not a job that women cannot do. If there's one woman in that position in the whole world, then that means that whole crew could be women if men allowed it. It needs to be a job that women cannot do. I don't need to hear it's 20 men and one woman. Then that means if one woman could do it, it could be 20 women doing it.
No, that's
But
not
y'all
true.
keep women out of it. There
That's
is
not
no
true.
job. There is no job due to, listen, there is no job
There is. I can
that
name
you
it.
can't. Oh gosh.
I can name it.
Okay.
Any job that requires you to do heavy lifting, a woman cannot do. And let me tell you
Yes.
why. Let me tell you why. Because you believe, because she did it one time. No, you have to understand, right? We need that person to do it long term, every day until they retire, right? Women's bodies physically cannot do that shit. And this is the thing you guys fail to realize, because I've worked a lot of these hard construction. I done did landscaping. I done did a lot of shit in my younger days. But this is why you guys are a lot of you guys are just lying. When women work in those fields, you believe they're doing the same exact thing as the man. That is not true. And you know how I know? Because I've worked those actual fields. They always find a lesser thing to make a woman do. They'll make her like a supervisor. They'll make her basically do the lightest fucking part of the job. She's not doing what the men are doing. And this is why it's hard, right? The people that have this argument are typically women that have never worked those actual physically demanding jobs. Like, I promise you, because the women that have worked those jobs, you haven't. The women that work those physical jobs, they know the stress it took on their physical body, especially if it was outdoors. They know they couldn't do it a long period of time because it was stressful to their minds, stressful to their body, and they didn't have the drive to keep doing it long term. So
I found it quite peaceful.
What did you do? What did you do? Go ahead. What was
Well,
it?
can I say something real quick before I have to
Please
go to
answer
the
that question. What
meeting?
was it?
No, you don't care.
Dark
You
Horse,
don't care.
what was
You
it?
just missed her multiple times, and you
Because
don't
she's
really
lying.
care. You
She's
just
pretending
want
because
to.
one girl worked
You
at
don't.
a construction
Don't
site. She was
care.
doing the same thing the guys were doing.
A
You don't
majority
have to
of the
lie
jobs
to her.
that you're
You don't have
talking
to lie for a
about.
genuine conversation. Whenever you have to
Okay,
lie
all
on
right.
a conversation, it's not
You
no
you
point having it.
you're doing too much. A majority of the jobs that you're referring to are simply due to capitalism, which men are the ones who are driving. Landscaping, the way that we do it today, why it's so laborious and why they are so meticulous and why they waste so much of our land, that they're putting just grass and these topiaries and plants and things that we don't have to have, is because of capitalism. And that's what
That's
people
not
say
all
that men's
landscaping is.
status.
That's not what landscaping is.
That's what
I
I
need to
did,
stop.
A
Malisa.
majority
I did landscaping. I
of the
loved it. And
right,
it's
What
but
did
I'm just saying, like a
easy.
majority,
It's
but Tara
easy
asked,
though.
you did landscaping?
Asked
There's
a
machines for
question about
everything. I can
what would it
ride
look
that
like if
mower. I can
women.
push it. I can
Okay, so
edge.
wait, hold
I
on.
can
You're
get it
proving
off
my
the
point.
trailer.
So
I can
you're
lock
proving
the
my point. So
trailer. So it's
even
not
with
a
those
male
fields,
dominated thing.
even
I'm
with those
telling you,
fields,
women
right?
can do it too.
You mentioned using machines. Some jobs you have to use hands. They need physical hands. There's not a machine you just jump on it. Because I would agree with you, right? Anybody could
But
do a job where you're using a machine.
right, but I'm
Construct.
telling you that even if you are a longshoreman and you turning pins and you unhooking the boxes, you still turning the pin. A woman can turn that pin, a man can turn that pin. A woman can climb up to the top of the boat and then
So
start
easy.
unturning pins. A woman can crawl down in there and start turning the pins. What I'm telling you is,
Uh-huh.
even if it is something that requires strength, okay, then three of us can do it. We're still not going to be excluded from it. But a lot of things are run by machinery, and if it took
That's not
10,
true.
then
That's not
in
true at all.
time, then when men go off the war and they only leave behind babies and old men who can't work, the women still kept the country running. So you can't say everything is
Most
going to
men didn't
stop.
go to
So please
war.
stop.
Most men didn't go to war. That's the
They
weird ass
took
cop
the
out
well
argument.
body and they left behind people who were not physically
That's
able to
not
go,
true.
which means they went.
That's
Okay.
not true. At no point in time was the
So
majority of able bodies
so
gone to war.
most
Like,
men
why are
aren't
you
doing these
lying to?
jobs that
Why
we're
do y'all
talking
lie for?
about.
Why
A
do y'all lie
majority.
to make an argument? Why do y'all lie to make an argument?
You don't listen, but a
No,
majority
like,
of the
because
jobs
you
that we're
guys, I'm
talking
listening to
about,
the lies just to prove
a
nothing.
majority of our population don't do those types of jobs. A majority of people aren't going to do those types of jobs. And if
That's a
women,
lie.
hold on, the
You're
question
lying
was if
again.
women were in charge. The question was if women were in charge, what differences would there be? A majority of the things that we pursue that are those super laborious, super taxing physically jobs that we've prioritized for risking people's health and safety, doing things that are drastically affecting our our air quality, and the planet in and of itself, women would say, okay, I have a reason why I don't want to see this being the future for us as a
That's
society
not true.
outside of myself, because if that were abundantly true, our society would have ended. If we were just this group of human beings who were just so callous and so incapable, a majority of you guys wouldn't be here.
That doesn't even make sense.
Absolutely, because
That doesn't make no sense.
if we were equally as just sort of selfish and just thought about capitalism only, most women wouldn't even have kids. Because you understand,
That doesn't make sense at all.
if we thought about capitalism the way that men
Capitalism
who
is
run the
literally
country, because you're not one
is
of those
because
men
of
who run
women.
our society, you just
Capitalism is literally
benefit from
because of
being
women.
a male.
Capitalism
You
is
don't
literally
run.
because of women. What
It's
the fuck
not
are you talking
because of
about?
women. If
It
that
is literally
was
because of
because
women.
of,
Everything,
no,
like, hold
it's
on.
not because of
Everything is
women.
geared towards women,
Oh
right?
my God, you want to
Men
argue?
buy certain clothes,
Me
certain
and I
cars.
don't
They
finish our thing.
like everything you own in this world is because of women. Like people, all these vacations and all this extra fancy shit, all this luxury shit is for women. Luxury items are for women. That is capitalism.
You
What are you
slept
talking
all
about?
through
Everything is
history.
geared towards women.
You don't listen when you go on these panels, and that's why your perspective is like this. Or you don't listen when you go on these panels, and that's why your perspective is like this. Or you're one
Because
of those
you're just
broken human
lying. You're
beings who
making
come
these
on
weird ass
TikTok to
arguments.
argue. You come on
You're
TikTok
making
to
these
argue, and then
weird
you go
ass
home and you
arguments,
repeat the
bro.
things
You're
that the women on
lying
these
for no.
panels. You come on
You're
TikTok
making
to
these
argue, and then
weird
you go
ass
home and you
arguments,
repeat the
bro.
things
You're
that the women
lying
on these
for no
panels
reason.
say. It's nothing to
You're
lie
lying for
about.
no reason.
The
The
conversation
fact
was,
that you
what
did,
would it look like differently if women were
that
fundamentally
wasn't the
in
question she
charge of
asked. That's how I know
things.
you're not. Let it be the same. That's all she asked. Would it be the same? I
If
said no.
women were in charge, and I'm saying my perspective on why it would not be the same if women were in charge, because a lot
Because
of
you
the things
believe
that you
women are
brought,
good and they're gonna fix the economy. They're gonna pray for. They're gonna make the air better. And that's why your argument falls flat, because you believe all these women believe in this nature, natural shit of,
I didn't
oh
say
yeah, we're gonna
about all
save the
these women.
planet.
It doesn't take, there's never been a world where all of everything is homogenous. There is
Women would
no
not.
example that
The
you
shit
can
that you're saying is
provide.
not based on reality.
You can provide that example that
The
you
shit
can
that you're saying is
provide.
not based on reality.
You can provide that the masses in abundance as a planet,
It would
right,
have been.
did
It
everything
would have been the
fundamentally
fucking.
exactly the same. The biggest argument that you could have about a mass around the globe is that men are violent. Around the globe is that men are violent. That is something that you could see in present day, hundreds of years back. You could go back thousands of years, and
You're
men have
right.
been violent.
Human beings are violent.
That's one of the drastically more violent,
Women are more
and
drastically violent to
drastically.
kids, and you guys are violent toward kids, but you
No,
don't care
women
about that.
have
So
closer
stop the cap.
proximity to
Women to
children.
kids, and you guys are violent toward kids, but you
No,
don't care
women
about that.
have
So
closer
stop the cap.
proximity to
Women,
children that they
women.
didn't. Women have
Okay,
closer
men have proximity
proximity
to
to
women. Men
children
have
that
proximity
they
to women.
didn't want to have with men who were
Men
violent.
have proximity to women.
So that
Your
had,
argument falls
and with
flat.
all the violence,
So what you're
that you
saying is
say,
your
no,
argument
because
is so
if
weird
you were to
and weak.
compare, no, we're talking about if men were in
Obviously, women are not
comparison
physically
to how
stronger than
many
men, so
human
obviously this
beings,
is why they wouldn't fight
how
the same
many,
amount of
if we
violence.
looked at if we looked at
Your
history
argument
and
is
we looked
weak.
at how
Your
many
argument is
human
weak, and
beings,
you know it.
point blank period, whether it were children, women, or men, that men unalived, in comparison to women or men that men unalived, in comparison to how
Women
many people
unaliving children,
that women
you're gonna
unalived,
ignore that.
the numbers are not going to match. Even if women are the ones who are closer to children, so somebody might make a weird argument about that. For whatever reason you decide that you
Because it's
choose
true.
to
You
make that
guys are
argument,
violent toward children.
they're not going to compare the numbers of
You
how
can't
many
be women
people,
cannot be
how
violent
many.
towards men for real. Because men are physically stronger. So your argument is so weak when all you have to do is do a little pushback of asking, can
That's
women
not why
physically
women.
oppose?
That's not why
That's
women aren't
literally
gonna
why.
fundamentally. That is not why. We
You
have
believe
enough
they're not
pew-pews
doing
in
it
this
because they're
country.
kind, but
We have this
you
pew. No, it's
you
not
fail
about
to
kindness. It's
realize
about
society.
humanity. It's about
No,
our own
that's not.
humanity. This is not about. This
No,
does not
you
have
believe
anything to
women
do
are
with that. There's this
good.
fund.
You believe
I
women are
think they
good.
make no. I think women make different choices. If we just look at the population of how many more people are in jail that are male than women. That
You
has
know,
nothing to
there's a
do with me
lot.
thinking that
Wait,
they're
wait.
good. They're
So does
bad
that mean?
people, nigga.
Wait. So
I
does that
don't need
mean?
anybody to tell me there aren't bad women and men. I'm saying that when it
So
comes down to making decisions and crashing out and doing things that are inherently violent without any second thought to their own selves or the other people involved, men don't. This is not
once
about
again,
saying that women don't. This is not saying that women aren't capable of doing that. This is saying that abundantly, if we were in a situation where there were an abundance of men and there was limited resources, you guys would unalive each other before you even got to the point to see if there was any way you could work together fundamentally in general,
that's not
to
true.
work together to figure
That's
shit
not
out.
true.
It is true.
That's not
It
true.
is
You're lying.
absolutely true.
It's not true.
That is exactly why the fundamental principles of different parts of our history have been, they want to do manifest destiny and they want to conquest and they want to take
But
over. That wasn't the
that
drive
doesn't
of
make
those
sense.
women.
Why are you talking about
Does
a?
it
This is
make
what I'm saying.
sense to you
Hold on.
because you're not
Hold
one
on.
of
Hold
those
on. Hold
men
on.
who
This is
think
why
on
your
that
argument
level?
doesn't
Men
make
are not
sense.
following.
This is what I'm saying.
Sense to you
Hold on.
because you're not
Hold
one
on.
of
Hold
those
on.
men
Hold on.
who
This is
think
why
on
your
that
argument
level.
doesn't
Men
make
are not
sense. Hold
following
on.
you to
Let
do
me tell
that.
you
You
why.
don't.
Listen. This is why your argument doesn't make sense, right? Because at no point in time have we had a collective of women travel to a place and been put in that situation. Like, that's never been a thing. Have we had a collective of women travel to a place and been put in that situation? Like, that's never been a thing. So you're talking because it's never been a norm, nor has it ever been a thing. So to act as if, like, if you put a abundance of women, specifically all women, in one location, they're not going to basically unalive and resort to violence for resources, you're lying. Because obviously that's what they're going to do. As humans, it is in us to survive, to preserve our own life. So if you put yes, they're going to start being violent. The only reason you can say what you're saying is because in reality, men have already been in that situation. Obviously, this is how we get where we at right now. So, like, what the fuck make these make believe ass conversations to make it seem like women aren't violent? No, you guys never had the opportunity because men have always been there. Men have been your scapegoat forever. This is why you guys genuinely believe in your hearts of heart women
There's no such
are
thing as
good.
a scapegoat. It's a scapegoat, but the men are not the scapegoat. Men are the
They
crash
are,
outs
because
who
you believe women are
volunteer
naturally
for it.
good.
Women aren't making so if you believe that women are using them as scapegoat, that means that the women are the leaders already. And you're trying to say that
They
everything in
are. I'll
society are
agree. I
based on
agree.
what it
I
is.
agree. I
And it's
agree.
not.
I agree.
It is absolutely and fundamentally not.
That doesn't make
Your
sense.
gender's violence, right? Men's violence is the primary reason, and their greed. Our country in
Yes.
particular, we can't even do the globe. In our country in particular, capitalism is fundamentally above and paramount to any and everything else.
Diamonds are for
The
who?
drive for
Diamonds are for who?
money.
Diamonds are
You
for who?
said what?
Diamonds are for who?
For capitalistic people?
Who is diamonds are
How do
who?
you how do you say the reason that
Do you
the
think?
reason
Wait,
that I
wait,
would
hold on.
even say
You think
that
guys buy
is
diamonds
that
because of what? Why do people gold, diamonds, pearls? Those are luxuries for women. Guys buy them to attract women. Pearls
men
for
put
women.
value onto inanimate objects and dictated
Women
society
put
based
value in
on
inanimate
those
objects.
things.
What are we talking about?
Women did
You
not
see women
put
get excited about the kitchen. You know why women get excited about getting a new dishwasher, a new fryer, women get excited about shit like that. All of that is for women. So what are we talking? You keep talking about capitalism as if it is a male thing. No, capitalism is literally for the benefit of women, because women need.
capitalism is our society's norm, but it is driven fundamentally when you see the inhumane tactics that it requires, because we have to
Women don't
see
want to
it
do.
in its face.
Women don't want to
And
do
men
it.
are the
Women
primary.
don't
I'm
want to
not
do
saying
it.
some women don't. A majority of
Women
the
don't want to
men
do
are the
it
ones doing it.
because women don't want to do it.
You are
Society.
proving my point by saying women don't want to do it. You are proving my fucking point.
Listen,
The way
listen,
that men
nigga. I'm
crash
not.
out over women's
Women. Wait,
bodies,
hold
if
on.
women were
Women don't want to do
if
it because they
women
don't
were
have to
as
do it.
bad, if
They
women
don't
were as
have to do
bad
it.
as
They're
men
using men
were,
as scapegoats.
every woman would figure out that their power was in that, because you guys,
You
a
know what you
lot of the
sound like right
men
now? You know what you
don't
sound like
have
right
the
now? You sound like a
capacity to
white
have
woman. You
self-control.
sound like a white woman. You
Oh
sound
my God.
your talking point. You sound like a white woman that pretends to be an ally while her husband's doing all the crazy shit, and she stands next to him and pretend, oh my God, husband's doing all the crazy shit, and she stands next to him and pretend, oh my God, he's just so bad. While she was there, reaping all the benefits of that white man's hard work. That's what you sound like right now. You can there to reaping all the benefits of that white man's hard work. That's what you sound like right now. You can pretend that women are just they're innocent. No,
You
they never
put them
have
on
to
a
do the dirty
pedestal
work
to
because
say
they
that
always sat back.
a white woman could ever be having this conversation with you
Your talking point is the
in
same as a
this
white woman.
space.
Your
Like,
talking
it's
point is the
not
same
about.
as a white woman.
Oh my God,
Just listen to
you're
what you just
so
said. Women didn't
you're
have to
so
do it
weird.
because they're watch how I compare it. Women didn't have to do the hard work or the dirty work, right? AK white women didn't have to do the lynching because of why? Because their husbands were doing it. But you know what they did? They stayed with them. They complained, they whined, but they stayed and reaped all the benefits, and then somehow still pretend like they weren't. They washed their hands off all the blood. No, you are part of it. It was done for
You
you, for
come to
your
this
amusement.
space where women are talking to other women to battle with the women, which is why things
This is an
are
open
how
panel
they
for
are and
men,
why
women.
so many.
You're
But
just
why?
talking.
But I'm just saying. I'm giving you a small example, right?
You just
So
yapping, man.
in this space, you could sit. You could just sit and be
You're just
quiet and say, "I don't
yapping.
agree
You're
with
just
them," and
yapping.
living your life. But this is how
You're
men
just
are. When women
yapping.
start to create community amongst themselves, because nothing says that
You're
it needs to be
just
any. It needs to
yapping.
be every and all women. Whatever
You're just
like-minded
yapping. You ain't
individuals
saying nothing of substance no more, bro.
whatever
You
like-minded
still didn't
individuals want to
disprove what
have
I
this
said.
conversation,
You still
right?
didn't
You
disprove
come
what I
up in
said.
here and at every turn you want to disagree and say
You haven't
no.
disproved
You
anything that
wouldn't
I
do
done
this
said.
and you wouldn't do that, and then say when
You
someone else
haven't
says that they
disproved
disagree with what
anything
you're
that I done
saying, oh,
said.
you don't have any proof. You don't have any proof.
You
You
haven't
have
did.
no
I
idea.
literally proved
You
everything
have
I said.
no idea.
I proved everything I said.
You have no
I
idea what a
proved everything
society
I said.
would look like. You can't prove anything because it was a hypothetical question about what it would look like with women in charge. So you couldn't prove anything. You made your speculations about what you thought it would look like based on what you think you know about women, and I made my own opinion put out there about my own opinion about
You realize these
what
studies
I
have been
say it would
already
look
made.
like because I
You
am a
realize
woman. That's the difference. You think you know what it is that women are thinking
you
and what they
realize
would
there's studies that's
fundamentally
already
do.
out, right?
You've never been
They've
a
already
study
put this to
can't
the test.
a study still
They've
can't
already
tell
put this
you
to the
what it
test.
would look like with an
They've
all
already put
woman
this to the test.
legislation, all woman Congress,
They've
all
already
woman
done this.
judiciary, with an all woman president and cabinet. You don't know. You'll never know what that looks like in this country. Not in
Wait,
history where there was a homogenous society in a
so
multicultural, multi-generational society.
so that's why
There's
you making up
never
an
been an
argument?
example of
I'm
what this
pretending.
looks like. So you couldn't
Oh,
possibly fucking know.
wait. So when
Possibly.
they already did experiments that they put a group of women in the fucking forest and a group of men in the forest. The men thrived. The women struggled. Their ass was crying and shit. What are we talking about? This they done already put experiments out already. And then the thing is, because this is a make-believe ass conversation, because men will always save women, we will always rescue y'all no matter how much y'all shit on us. We will never put this to the test because y'all will never be in this situation. You guys are talking shit after we done built everything for y'all. You have everything. You have running water. You have a grocery store. You have everything brought to you, and somehow you guys feel like, oh, if it was us, this would have been a utopia, and everyone would be equal, and there wouldn't be no bad people. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is why I'm saying your argument is dumb as fuck
Nobody
because you know
said
you
that
would never
shit.
live that
Nobody
reality.
said that we were going to fix it's going to be fundamentally better. Just like if black people were in charge, it would just be a better society. Like, get out of here. Like, your perspective is just so childlike and naive and just antagonistic just for the sake of being an antagonist, and you don't even have the bandwidth to have just for the sake of being an antagonist, and you don't even have the bandwidth to have the conversation truthfully because you think that you're right all the time. You've never fucking been a woman, and I doubt that most women who come into your space give you the time of day to have an actual conversation with you. They let you run your mouth and then they talk the fuck at you. Get out of here.
Mr. Charles.
You good.
I'm gonna end the live though. Thank y'all for supporting. I'm gonna end the live though. Thank y'all for supporting.
Bye.